Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what's going on in Seattle, Washington. Um, some are calling this a Chaz 2.0. All right. Um, on May 5th, a group of protesters, described by some as including Antifa affiliate activists, occupied the Interdisciplinary Engineering Building, or IEB, at UW just before it closed at 5 o'clock at night. The takeover was part of the Gaza-related protest, with demands centered on the university severing ties with Boeing, which is a major defense contractor with historical connections to UW, due to its role in supplying arms to Israel. The occupation was claimed by a group called Students United for Palestinian Equality and Return, or Super UW. Okay, though some sources suggest broader involvement, including non-student activists. So these protesters, reportedly, a few dozen of them, entered the IEB, hung a banner renaming the building in honor of a man that lost his life in 2024 Israeli airstrikes, and set up barricades. Okay, that's reportedly, allegedly, let's just say that. So UW police were on site, and an order to disperse was issued. But as of late on the 5th, no immediate arrests or clearances were reported. So the university described the group as occupying the building without causing immediate structural damage at that time. So the assertion that Antifa torched the engineering building, as claimed, suggests that arson or significant fire damage. However, the evidence is less clear and appears exaggerated based on available reports. So the involvement of Antifa, which is a loosely organized militant anti-fascist movement, is central to the narrative, but it's debated right now. Social media has labeled the protesters as Antifa or affiliated with them, citing their black-clad, masked appearance and tactics like barricades, which align with their historical methods. The UW Jewish Alumni Organization also described the occupiers as black-clad, masked activists, which is a description that's often associated with Antifa. So neither the UW nor Seattle police have officially confirmed Antifa's involvement, referring only to protesters or individuals. And the university statements identified Super UW as the group claiming responsibility, with no mention of Antifa. So if you see any posts claiming that this is all Antifa, this, that, the other, they're trying to grab your attention, or it's fear-mongering. Okay, that's why I wanted to give you detailed fact-based reporting on this. Okay, so Antifa, their presence, it could be plausible given Seattle's history of their activism, like Chaz, okay, and the reported aesthetics, like the black clothing, the masks, whatnot. However, labeling the entire group as Antifa may oversimplify a diverse coalition, potentially including students, non-Antifa radicals, or Gaza-focused activists. Without arrests or explicit self-identification, Antifa's role is inferred here, not proven. So past misattributions of Antifa's involvement in Seattle protests suggest caution. So the protest was explicitly linked to the Israel-Gaza conflict, reflecting broader campus activism against university ties to arms supplier Boeing. Okay, they do have demands. Super UW cut ties with Boeing, citing its role in supplying military equipment to Israel, which they argue contributes to Palestinian deaths in Gaza. And this mirrors similar 2024 UW protests like the popular University of Gaza Liberated Zone, which also targeted Boeing. The occupation is part of a national wave of student protests against Israel's actions in Gaza following Hamas's attack on October 7th. The attack and the Israelis' subsequent offensive, which took the lives of over 34,500 Palestinians by May 2024, per Gaza health officials. So the UW protesters, like others, seek divestment from Israeli-linked companies and a ceasefire as well. So the banner that was renaming the IEB for a man who lost his life in 2024, the airstrike, possibly like a symbolic figure, though specifics are unclear right now, ties the action to Gaza. The protest conflates university policy, like the Boeing's academic partnership with foreign policy, U.S. support for Israel, a tactic seen in prior UW encampments. But the claim that protesters are squatting behind barricades and whatnot and creating a hostage situation of thought is partially factual but heavily editorialized. Protesters reportedly set up barricades inside or around the IEB, possibly using like campus materials like furniture and stolen bike racks, which is like a tactic seen in prior UW protests. Like they don't actually have like actual barriers, you know what I mean? They're using furniture, for crying out loud, you know? But the UW Jewish Alumni Organization, they described a banner, a Palestinian flag suggesting a fortified presence, and the barricades, they align with the protest strategies to control space, like seen in, like, remember when I said Chaz 2.0? Same thing, okay? It was, or the 2024 UW Liberated Zone. So the hostage situation of thought, it's metaphorical, implying that the occupation stifles academic freedom or intimidates the university. There's no literal hostages or anything like that. There's nothing been reported. The university's statement on May 6th noted that the occupation involved a few dozen individuals with no mention of violence. There's no coercion beyond the unauthorized takeover. However, the UW's Jewish alumni group claimed that the action disrupted engineering research and study, framing it as a sabotage of academic work. The University of Washington faced a delicate situation, balancing free speech and campus safety and academic operations. The UW police, they monitored the occupation, and an order to disperse was issued, but no immediate, forcible clearance occurred on May 6th. The university's statement emphasized that police presence and identified students united for Palestinian equality and return as the group behind the takeover, suggesting a focus on de-escalation. So the Super UW, they demanded UW sever ties with Boeing, which is a demand that was unmet as of May 6th. There's no reports indicate negotiations, but UW's history of concessions, like the 2024 Liberated Zone Agreement to focus on Islamophobia without punishing occupiers, suggests a pattern of avoiding confrontation. The prompt's framing to negotiate under threat or restore order reflects the university's dilemma here. Negotiating could embolden further occupations, while forceful clearance risks escalating tensions, as seen in violent clashes at other campuses like Columbia University last year. UW's cautious approach may stem from Seattle's progressive politics and history of tolerating autonomous zones like Chaz. There are several gaps that remain due to the incident's recency and the reliance on social media posts. The extent of the damage, and this is what I found when I do my research, the extent of the damage, there's no official report confirming fires or damage to the IEB beyond the occupation and the banner. No arrests or injuries were reported on May 6th, or by May 6th, let me say that, but the situation was ongoing. Later police action could clarify the outcome. The exact mix of students or Antifa or external activists is unclear right now. Super UW's role is confirmed, but claims of Antifa dominance, it's speculative at best. UW's immediate response was monitoring, but there's no updates to confirm whether the occupation ended, escalated, or led to concessions. So I wanted to give you fact-based, reporting on what's really going on, in case you guys come across other videos that say, yes, it's Antifa. Well, no, that has not been confirmed. And, I wanted to give you fact-based information. Okay. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you in the next one. All right. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.